Alright guys, here we go. I have a trial date coming up on Zoom. The charge is not handing over my papers to one of Hitler's Third Reich, metaphorically speaking. So, this is what I'm going to start with. If it pleases the court, before this matter goes forward, I'm here on a special appearance as distinguished from a general appearance, and I am answering in the form of a demurrer. What does that mean? If he asks me what it means, I can say I'm answering in the form of a demurrer. Okay. Do you know what that means? It means I'm answering out of courtesy, but at no time am I granting jurisdiction. That's what answering in the form of a demurrer is. D-U-M-U-R-R-E-R. Demurrer. And then, of course, I would say, before he says to understand the charges, against you, before we can proceed with that, I have some questions before I can comprehend this. I need to know the nature and cause of the action. What is the nature of the action? Is it commercial? Is it civil? Or is it criminal? Some dude put on lights and thinking, oh, he must need my help. It's an emergency, right? They're emergency lights, aren't they? To be put on in an emergency. The emergency was, of course, that I had a headlight out and a loud exhaust. I immediately reserved my rights as a living man. I said, as soon as I do that, it's now a common law situation. It's even in the UCC. UCC 1-308. I reserve my right not to be compelled to perform under any contracts or commercial agreements that I did not enter knowingly, voluntarily, and intentionally. I may have entered them voluntarily and intentionally, but did I enter them knowingly? If I knew what tyranny I had to be under and obey, would I have signed them? Whatever contracts they are that you say, whatever the judge is going to say, do you use dollars? Well, I, of course, reserve my rights whenever I use Federal Reserve notes. But most people don't. Nobody does, except me and some people. But, God, do it. Without prejudice, above or below your signature. Just do it. UD or NA after your signature. Under duress or non-assumpsit. When you put without prejudice above or below your signature, you're contractually conveying that as a courtesy, you've signed this and read it, but you don't agree to anything in it. That's the freaking rule, man. Use it. I'm a golfer. Most of the rules are against you. When you get one that's for you and you get a free drop, do you still hit it off the sprinkler head, you dumb shit? No, you don't. You take your drop because that's the rule. If you don't use the rule when it's in your favor, or take the time to know the rules, you're a serf, man. You're the problem. I'm going to paraphrase a famous quote from somebody. Basically, good people that believe in the obeying of authority are more dangerous to society than all the bad people that you can think of. You're obeying a secular concept on paper in which these laws, which are statutes and codes and mandates and proclamations, and every day they create more. Everything's illegal. Everything's illegal. I should have a license. Except, here's the thing. What is illegal has nothing to do with living people. It's only as it pertains to corporations. Not because I fucking say so. I read on. Is this an Article 1 or an Article 3 court? Article 1 court is commercial, dealing with commercial entities. Am I a commercial entity? I feel like I'm a man doing some really cool AI if a commercial entity is making itself look like me and making itself talk like this. Going back to answering in the form of a demurrer. This is backed up by 56 SC 502. That's 56 Supreme Court. McNutt versus GM acceptance. Jurisdiction may never be assumed but must be substantively proven by the plaintiff or claimant. Supreme Court case, withstanding. Not to mention Marbury versus Madison. Been challenged hundreds of times, never been overturned. The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Any secondary law would be null and void of law, as the supreme law would be the basis of all law. By head Supreme Court Justice 1803. Challenged hundreds of times, never overturned. Supreme Court is the only friend you got in the Matrix. And it's not the perfect friend. I would also ask these questions. Excuse me. Can an artificial entity lawfully or legally interact with a living being, being it is a construct of the mind that doesn't exist in contemplation of reality in any place whatsoever? A government, a municipality? It's an artificial entity. It's an incorporation of more than one people. It's completely different than one dude or one chick who have singular, unalienable rights endowed by their creator. That's constitutional law. Whether you believe it or not, I don't care. I don't care. You shouldn't care. If it adjudicates your rights and gives you freedom, you care? Come on. Here's another one I would ask. Have you, sir, made a legal determination that the person on the driver's license, the all capitals symbols that are arranged to look like a name, are in fact I, the living soul? What language is comprised of all caps? What publication did you get it from? Black's Law Dictionary? Webster's? Chicago Manual of Style? Isn't that the grammar publication that you adhere by? not in there, except as American Sign Language. Yet you have proper English on this document as well. Can two different languages have jurisdiction with each other on the same document? I thought that was illegal. Is that illegal? Anyway, just a few things for you. Hope you liked it. Take care.